Earlier today, Sledgehammer did an Ask Me Anything over on Reddit, where they were answering questions from the community, and personally, I think this is a great approach to how they can do this. They can be more direct with the community, they can be upfront, and answer the questions that the community themselves want to have answered, and not just some that may be on topic and that may not be. But while this is a very cool approach to how things can be done, there's a lot of information that was gathered from the answers from Sledgehammer themselves, in which it gives us a nice picture of some different topics that we can see here coming for World War II. And in this one particularly, I want to talk about one thing that this is brand new to Call of Duty. We've never seen it in Call of Duty thus far, and that being a standard 60 Hz tick rate for Call of Duty World War II. Now, firstly, before we get too far into it, let's talk a little bit about what tick rate is for some people that may not necessarily know just exactly what we're talking about here with this. So the tick rate is described as the frequency in which the server will update the game and its states. This is something that's measured in hertz, and whatever the tick rate of the game is, means that it's the amount of times it's capable of sending packets to the client per second. So, for example, if a tick rate for a game is 64, that means that the packets will be sent at most 64 times per second. What packets then are updates for the game's states, including like the location and positioning of objects, and in a lot of cases for FPS games, the data from the hit scan in which players end up shooting at each other. Now, if you can kind of piece 2 and 2 together, if the server is sending things a lot faster and refreshing as many times as possible here with this, it's obvious that the higher tick rate is obviously better and leads to less lag in a sense for multiplayer games online. Obviously, things like LAN and all that kind of stuff are completely different environments, but for the most part, the 99% of people that don't end up playing Call of Duty on LAN, this is something that is really relevant to them. And surprisingly, Call of Duty's tick rates in the past have been very minimal compared to what the industry standard is at this point. Now, getting back to the AMA and outside of a discussion here, Michael Condrey himself ended up talking about this on his account over in this Ask Me Anything, in which he mentioned we update packets at 60 times per second in both directions when network bandwidth allows. So that says that right now it is looking like a 60 Hz standard tick rate for the game servers. Now, is this something that will stick the entire time? That's something that of course will then fall on the network themselves and the server capabilities. It is saying that at peak performance at that ideal rate, 60 Hz is attainable within Call of Duty World War II and the servers that they operate off of. But once again, that's something that is the absolute peak and may very well drop here and there, but may very well not at any point. Right now, it's too early to tell because we don't have any data to go off of simply other than just a statement of 60 Hz. Now, why this is important and why this is actually kind of a big deal that I haven't seen too many people talk about is because Call of Duty has significantly always been under the 60 Hz standard, especially in 2017, where that's kind of unheard of. If I'm not mistaken, Modern Warfare Master just ended up getting their tick rate raised, but it was at previously, I believe, 20 Hz, if once again I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong on that number, but it was in the 20s to 30s for that tick rate of every Call of Duty previously, which is kind of crazy to think about when once again you're in 2017 and 60 is almost the standard that's being phased out as is. So ideally what this then means for Call of Duty and World War II specifically moving forward, hopefully this extends then into other games afterwards, and maybe even higher tick rates in less transitional durations of time moving forward. Hopefully this then allows players to have a much more fluent gaming experience while online. Once again, when it comes down to things like LAN, it is a completely different experience, but for the 99% of people that don't get that opportunity to play on LAN where the circumstances and environments are absolutely perfect conditions, this is something that really does affect the day-to-day gaming experience of the normal gamer. So with this being said, 60 Hz upgraded from the 20 to 30, whatever it was previously, is definitely a very nice step forward. Whether or not this is going to fix all the issues you ever feel like you have with lag, that's probably not going to happen, simply because, once again, online multiplayer, connecting with players across the world, that's almost never going to completely rid the experience of that problem, but it is once again definitely a nice step forward that these servers will be able to update the game a lot faster and a lot more times than it previously could in a single second, making once again hopefully a little bit more fluent of a gameplay experience. But that's where we're gonna wrap it up. I want to let you guys know about this because once again this is kind of a big deal that I haven't seen too many people really mention thus far here on YouTube. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Do you guys like this? Do you guys not necessarily care for it? Whatever it may be, feel free to drop it down there in the comment section down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel as well, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Call of Duty World War II, both multiplayer and zombies. We got a video going live tonight, actually a little bit later on, talking a little bit about zombies and what we can expect here with that. And then everything with Black Ops 3 multiplayer and zombies with Zombies Chronicles, Infinite Warfare with DLC 3 coverage coming here. I can actually mention that now. Modern Warfare Mastered, all that good stuff, we got you covered here up on the channel. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected outside of YouTube, but practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to share up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But all that said and out of the way, hopefully you guys are on a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Nicola Espresso. Take care and peace.